What's up, guys? It's your boy Pxxxnda, and I just had a blast at YCS Anaheim 2025. I had an unfortunate circumstance. I got 69th place going into day two. I was X2, and then I ended up losing the first two rounds, unfortunately. Shout out to the boys, though. Obviously, check out this match. Shout out to the boys. One of them ended up getting top 16, and the other one ended up getting top 8. Sick ass. The one who did get top 8 ended up playing the same list as me. We did grind a lot, especially going to multiple regionals, and I feel like the list was perfect. Of course, without misplays, you play perfectly, you get the good results. So shout out to him for getting top 8. Anyways, we can get straight into the deck profile. I don't really have any more shout outs, so we'll do standard standard yummy lineups, which are all the monsters. 3-3, and then 2. I played the 2 Lollipo. It's just the weakest one of the length, and if you manage your resources correctly, you don't have to worry about ever running out of it. As far as the other yummy cards, 2 Surprise, standard field spells. I ended up liking the 2 Surprise. I think most of the day of when I was playing, I realized when I would use the Surprise to special, I can get it back with the Marshmallow, but I really like using the Surprise to bounce a lot. And so having the second Surprise come back up, especially if I have it in hand and my opponent thinks I only have 1 Surprise, it's like broken most of the time. And at those times, it's always game winning, especially when you're removing their field and you could just OTK for game. As far as the rest of the quote unquote yummy engine, 3 engages, 1 drones. Yeah, it's just Cupsy. Says I get Cupsy Wupsy. 1 obedience school, gas. Nothing else to really explain there. That's pretty much it for the yummy engine. Nothing really crazy. We are playing for non-engine. We're playing 3 Ash, 3 Fua. We played the 1 Perulia. I'll explain this in a bit. We also played the 2 Ghost Bell. Ghost Bell is just super versatile. Works in a bunch of matchups. As far as the other non-engine goes as well, is 3 Droplet and the 3 Dominus Purge. Like I said, so I was going to explain the Perulia in just a second, and the reason why we're playing the 1 Perulia is you'll notice I'm playing a 42 card deck. The 1 Perulia is literally just for our siding patterns. Our siding patterns literally needed 1 more card to be able to side out, and I did not want to side any more engine out. I did not want to side in specific matchups, whether if I was going first or second. I didn't really want to side specific non-engine cards out, so I really needed that 1 extra card to work with my siding pattern. So I just ended up adding the Perulia, well, me and my boy, we ended up adding the Perulia back into our deck. We were at 41 cards. We ended up just shooting it to 42. It also works statistically wise. It ended up raising our percentage on seeing our starter counts by like 0.2%, which is really seems really small, but it actually works in the long run, especially when you want to play a 15 round, 16 round YCS and you want to have the most consistent deck. So, like I said, I never really bricked. I think I bricked like while I was practicing, but during the actual event itself, it was always, on lockdown. I always had an engine card going. The 2 Bell, I didn't want to play the 3rd. I don't know. I just save space. It could have been that Perulia could have been the 3rd Bell, but I don't know. It's just once per turn, so it is what it is. I wanted to sack it. I did play the 1 Black Goat Laughs with the 3 Thrusts inside the main. The Black Goat Laughs inside the main is I feel was much needed, especially with the fact that Liger is running around, Luna Light. Thankfully I was able to dodge it. Black Goat Laughs is even broken when you have it in first turn in hand, when they Nibiru you, or even when they Wallows you and they don't have any monsters on board. You can just set the Black Goat Laughs with the Thrust if you already went off on your turn and kind of established your board, or even setting the Black Goat Laughs against Mitsurugi. So you have Mitsurugi, you have Yummy, you have Dracotel, setting the Black Goat Laughs on any of them, and then just calling whether if it's Arthalion, Murakumo, or even just Snatchy. It's just GG's. It's pretty much game ending, and I just felt like it was broken. And then even when I saw it going second, we play Droplet. So even seeing the Droplet at this point, and we did have the Black Goat Laughs, or if we had Cupsy and we didn't really want to discard anything else, we could just discard the Black Goat Laughs, have it live in the graveyard, banish it. And it was just, I don't know. I thought it was really gas. I feel like that was what perfected our list in the end, especially in the way that we built it. Prosperity, Talent, Call to Grave, pretty much Tri Brigade instead of playing the Cross Out. Cross Out's still not good because not everybody's playing the same cards, and for this format exactly, we had to play the mixture of the breakers and the hand traps because it was just, you can hand trap so many times when you're playing against Yummy, but if you don't, if you're like, Yummy can still establish their full board. Dracotel on the other sense, I don't know. I feel like they're not really as good. They're not like the best. It's, I'm sorry, I don't like that deck. That deck sucks. But anyways, even like Luna Light, you can hand trap them like 3 times and still end on a Liger. Even if you try to do it correctly, they just open broken all the time. Or even like Bakersfield K9, I didn't really expect that deck to be honest. But even having the breakers, if they were able to establish a board, like the droplets were cooking. What else? Like that was pretty much it. I didn't really expect a Crystal K9. I never even played against it. All the mirror matches were pretty much free. I never really had an issue with that. But yep, 42 card main deck. Getting into the side deck, I played 3 draw. 3 draws is mandatory. You can't really main deck it. It's pretty bad against every other deck but Mitsu. What else? We played 2 Harpies, 2 Lightning Storms. I'm not going to lie, I didn't really care about the Lightning Storms. I feel like the Lightning Storms, every time I had them, I would have rather preferred the Harpies. I feel like Lightning Storms could have been a better card. I did like Lightning Storm once when they had a full monster board and they against Dracotel and they were all in attack, which is fine. It was cool, but being able for them having their fusions in the graveyard to be able to like revive themselves when 2 cards are sent to the grave, that was like kind of sucked. But anyways, it could have been a better card. It could have just been Regeki. Regeki could have been useful as well, like against the mirror match. I don't know. I'll have to maybe change it later on down the line. As far as the other cards go in the side deck, I played 2 D barriers, 1 anti-spell, 1 judgment. I feel like these are pretty much broken. Didn't play the 3rd D barrier, and I'll explain why in a second. We did play the 3 Metatronus and the 1 Arthalion. This was really broken. I decided to play Arthalion instead of the Psychic Blaster that I've been playing for a while now. Obviously, because I just didn't expect Vanquish Soul to be in play. And, of course, I mean, shout out to my buddy for getting top 16 with it, but I never played against it. Thankfully, every time I played against Dracotel, I always had the Metatronus, whether if it was game 1 or game 2. Always had the Metatronus, had the Arthalion in the deck, sighted in, and then from there, it was always GG. Metatronus is gas. You could also Metatronus Pxxxnda. Pxxxnda summons Marshmallow, if you guys don't know that, which is pretty sick. This is like a starter, kind of like a pseudo starter in a way. You could also target Seals, and then that gets you Cupsy. There's other applications to the Metatronus as well, but like I said, it's pretty sick. It's a free in the mirror match. Your mirror match is so easy if you have Tronus, especially. Yeah, that's pretty much it for those. I never cited it in against Mitsurugi, obviously, because there's not really more applications to it, unless they were playing the Mitsurugi Yummy version. Then I was cited against the Mitsurugi Yummy version, because what they typically do is they like to go into the Zombie Vampire, kind of establish their board from there, and then they usually only have like the 1 Snatchy. And at that case, then you can Metatronus and kind of lock them out of their Yummy cards. Or even when they're trying to start, same thing, lock them out of their Yummy cards. Last card was Herald of the Abyss. This was kind of a last-minute decision. We were playing Dark Ruler before, and Dark Ruler just seemed really butt. Like, it stank. Like, it just was not working for any of the decks. Maybe at the end game, or the end board of, like, Yummy board, or maybe a Mitsu Yummy board, but even then, like, they still had the prayers for the Mitsu Yummy to bring back the Murakumo. The Yummy boards, they still had the surprise. Like, it just didn't feel good for it to have Dark Ruler, so I wanted a better card. I thought about it like Lullaby Obedience, but that didn't really work out for me either. So then I ended up finding this card. Thankfully, this card, it sometimes worked really well. Even going up against Dracotel, I was able to call like the Arthalion type in attribute, whatever, and they would have to send their Arthalion, and they couldn't even find Enemy that turn anymore, because it basically says that you can't activate that card's name for the rest of the turn. So if they find Enemy, summon another Arthalion, they can't even activate the effect, which is broken. It's also like Triff was playing 2 Lava Golems like not too long ago on the YCS, and that he ended up winning. And because of that, everybody's making 1 Liger, so you can now Herald of the Abyss, send that 1 Liger, and then that's it. You're simple out for everybody. Also, against the Yummy board. The Yummy board is pretty simple too, because then like if they change Snatchy to try and make a Synchro, they just send a Synchro anyways, and they're just locked out. So sucks for them, but I think it's pretty neat. It's a thrust target. If you can't thrust for any of this, or if you already have it and you just want to thrust for something better, if you drew this and you want to thrust for something else, it's gas. But that's it for the side deck. Getting into the extra deck, most of it's pretty standard. I don't think much is going to change, but We got the 3 Snatchy and the 3 Synchros, which are pretty self-explanatory. We got the 1 Almirage, the 1 Kagari, the 1 SP. We did end up playing the Link Spider. Link Spider, I think, is mandatory right now, especially because Mitsuyomi won the last YCS, and it was heavy top cut in the other one, so I figured everybody's going to be main decking Nib, and which they ended up doing. Most of the decks ended up doing main deck Nib, and because of that, I got nibbed so many times. I ended up summoning Link Spider and just continued my combo, because obviously that's just how you do it in Yummy, and it worked out that way. I played the 1 Onari. I'll talk more about that in just a second. I'll push it to the side, but we got the Typhon, Marcher, Starham, Herald. This is all pretty standard. This is broken against Mitsu. You know, stops their Murakumo. Shut down. Easy. GG. Onari, we thought about taking this out to be able to play like to be able to play the Arthalion in the main deck, but because we weren't main deck in Tronus, we decided to opt out on that. There was nothing else that was really better than this. The only other things that I was thinking was probably taking this out, maybe taking the Starham out to be able to go for 2 Super Poly targets to be able to main deck the Super Poly, but I just realized like having the Onari, which I've already done. I actually did it twice where I got my opponent down to 1,200 life points because I didn't want to play into the Nibiru. And then you end up leaking it off. You go into Onari, and then you can still make your Herald. And then you just, obviously, you make your Herald, and you go into your Onari, you negate the Onari effect, and you just burn for the last 1,200. And that's it. It's GG. So I actually did that twice. I ended up getting 2 matches out of that, which is pretty gas. Obviously, setting back too. Setting back to like Tronus, or setting back the Droplet, or even setting back like the drones, or anything pretty much quick play related was gas. Like, it was actually insane. I feel like if I remember correctly, I think my boy who ended up getting top 8, he actually, the only reason why he ended up 2-0ing Triff was because he actually Onari set back, I think it was the Droplet, or set back the Surprise. I don't know exactly which one, if I remember correctly, but I know that Onari ended up coming in clutch, and that was literally the only reason why he won. So, GG's, good games. Thank you guys for checking out this deck profile and sticking with me. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all you little pandas. I'll catch you guys at YCS Pittsburgh, and catch you with the navy blue hats. And yeah, see you guys next time.